Joke landed the way grease pops on a grill, sharp, quick, and harmless to everyone except the one it touches. We were standing in my husband's parents' backyard, paper plates bending under too much potato salad. His sister tilted her head at me, smiling like she was offering a compliment. If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would even notice. The laughter came easily. Husband's was softer than the rest, but it was there. That's what I remember most, not the volume, just the participation. Feel humiliated in the dramatic way movies show it. I felt clarified. Like a smudge wiped off glass, raised my hot dog slightly and said, "Challenge accepted." They laughed again. They thought I was playing along. On the drive home, he told me not to be sensitive. That's when I understood something simple and immovable. Been shrinking for years in ways so subtle no one saw them happening. I stopped correcting stories that erased me. I stopped expecting introductions that included my name. I stopped asking to be consulted. Disappearing hadn't started that afternoon, had been gradual. That night, after he fell asleep, I packed one suitcase, not angrily, methodically. Documents, laptop, 2 weeks of clothes. I left my ring on the bathroom counter beside his watch. I wrote a note that said only's, "I think you were right. Let's see what happens." I turned my phone off before I locked the door. The first few days in a short-term rental were disorienting. Silence can feel like withdrawal when you're used to background noise that diminishes you. Kept expecting a moment of regret so powerful it would drag me back. It didn't come. His messages, when I eventually turned my phone on, moved in predictable stages. Confusion, irritation, accusation, then bargaining. He said his sister was just joking. He said I was embarrassing him by making it bigger than it was. Never said the joke was wrong. I didn't argue. I responded once I need space. After that, communication went through email. Practical, sparse. The family reframed my absence as instability. Heard through a mutual friend that I'd always been a little distant. It fascinated me how quickly they edited me into something easier to dismiss. What they didn't anticipate were the logistics, managed the shared calendar, the tax documents, the birthday gifts, the social smoothing, the invisible labor that makes a family appear cohesive. When I stepped back, no one immediately noticed. Then they did. A month later, asked where certain financial records were stored. 2 months later, he missed his mother's insurance renewal deadline because he'd assumed I'd remind him. 3 months later, a holiday gathering went ahead without coordinated dishes because no one had assigned them. None of this was catastrophic. It was just inconvenient. And inconvenience is often the first crack in entitlement. I didn't orchestrate any of it, simply stopped compensating. In that year, I built something quieter, therapy on Tuesdays, small apartment with sunlight in the kitchen, a job transfer that required no one's permission. My nervous system stopped bracing for jokes disguised as affection. I wasn't glowing. I was steady. The divorce filing was my decision. Initiated it after 8 months of separation. By then, the emails between us had turned procedural anyway. The hearing was brief. Fluorescent lights, polished floors, paperwork neatly stacked. When the judge addressed me, she looked directly at me. If the terms reflected my wishes, if I felt coerced, if I understood the finality. My husband tried to interject at one point, something about reconciliation attempts. The judge held up a hand and said, calmly, "You'll have a chance to speak." He stopped. Was such a small thing. A stranger enforcing turn-taking. But it was the first time in years I'd been publicly prioritized over him. Was spoken clearly for the record. My decisions documented. My signature binding. Authority didn't punish anyone, simply recognized me. The decree arrived 2 weeks later. After that, the invitations slowed, then stopped. I heard distantly, family barbecues felt different, quieter, less organized. Someone once told a mutual friend, didn't realize how much she handled. That wasn't an apology. It was an observation. Last week, a forwarded message appeared in my inbox. A photo of the backyard strung with lights again. Someone had written, "You should come this year. It's not the same without you." No mention of the joke, no acknowledgement. I deleted it, stood in my own kitchen afterward, cutting vegetables for dinner. The window was open. No one was laughing at me. No one was laughing around me either. The quiet felt chosen. The truth is, when she said no one would notice if I disappeared, she was wrong. They noticed eventually. But the more important discovery was this: I didn't miss being unseen. That has made all the difference.